The PP must die. Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche post-game show, live from the Toyota Lounge, a winner's lounge, loser's lounge. Maybe one of the most frustrating loser's lounge. Should have been a winner's lounge, but the Avs didn't get it done. Still powered by the Front Range Toyota dealerships and presented by Bet365. AJ and Rudo coming to you into what is frankly my least favorite game of the season. That's how I'm going to put it. Just a lost opportunity, unbelievably frustrating, some extremely targeted issues that the Colorado Avalanche had, and also some team-wide issues top to bottom. Big E used to always say after a game like this, there's not a single person in that locker room that's looking at their game today and saying it was good enough. And especially disappointing to end the homestand that way, AJ.
I can't believe that this show isn't going to let me swear. How am I supposed to get through the next 60 minutes without letting it fly? How else do you
keep
break
it few
down
and
that
far
game?
Between?
I don't know how else. My brain, maybe this is just me exposing my lack of vocabulary here.
Poop.
But how am I supposed to get through this without swearing up and down? How? Because that is, I want to just start right here and say, in the context of the season, when you consider their whole
not that
body
big a
of
deal,
work,
for sure,
and when you consider, like, it's fine, okay, like, it's fine. I'm not turning on the team. I don't suddenly think they're bad. I don't suddenly think, like, oh, they're not gonna win the President's Trophy. They're still so far ahead, right? Like,
yep.
But that was a goddamn embarrassment. And to do it, especially in front of the 2001 team, hurts my heart. It is embarrassing. Honestly, the 2001 team should come down from the press box, from
what the F was
box,
that? Yeah.
From their suite, wherever it was, and kick them the hell out of the locker room. They should have to go out in the storm, all naked and shit. No clothes, none of that. Carry them to your car. They even got them. They park. They don't have to even sit in. They don't have to park in like the real parking lot anymore. They have like luxury parking. They've got man baby parking now. They don't even know what hard times were. The fact that the 01 team had to sit there and watch this team embarrass them on the ice that they built, the ice that they christened with their greatness and their legacy, hurts my soul. That was embarrassing.
There's
just run the clip, the Shoresy clip of the coach kicking can, saying embarrassing. I will tell you, there was one time I worked a game against the Ducks when Bruce Boudreau was the coach, and I remember walking down. Remember, this is when the Avs were real bad, and they lost. The Ducks lost to the Avs, and they were so mad about it that Bruce Boudreau did that. He kicked the trash can across the hallway.
There was a dent in it and everything. I remember. Yeah,
embarrassing. That's how I feel tonight. These dudes, the 01 team should kick them the hell out. They do not belong. They do not get to be in that room tonight. They do not deserve the shower. They do not deserve any of this. This was embarrassing. And it sucks because the first two periods were fine. You felt fine going into the third period because third period Avs have been the best team in hockey.
Well,
absolutely felt great. And then the third period started and it was just like Bizarro night at the can. What the hell was that? What was the point? Why send us through that?
I don't know that the first two periods were totally fine, but
It was 3-3.
I agree.
Had Mackenzie Blackwood not been awful,
yeah,
they would have
that's
been
part
winning
of it.
that game.
That's part of it.
They would have been winning the game. This was so stupid. You got... I don't even remember what it's like to have bad goaltending anymore, that the Avs season has been so blessed that kind of game, like, that's the one where you go, that's why that guy's not going to the Olympics. That's why they don't trust him. This isn't even a big game, and the guy folded like the French. Embarrassing.
I do believe embarrassing is the correct word. We'll get into all of it. Let's hit the 60-second rundown, though, so we can cover the major points of the game. First 10 minutes of this game were great, except for the scoring. The Avs were out shooting the Philadelphia Flyers 14-1 at one point in this game, and the Philadelphia Flyers' second shot of the game goes in the net. It's 1-0. The Avs have nothing to show for their dominance. Philadelphia gets a power play, and they score. They go 1-for-1 on their power play in the first period, where the Avs go 0-for-2. It's 2-0 after one. You feel like the Avs deserve better, but are also their own worst enemy. The second period was actually pretty great for the most part from Colorado. They score 3 times. Parker Kelly, the one to get them on the board, the depth doing the job initially. Victor Olofsson finally breaks through on the top line with a very beautiful shot. And then they immediately give one of those goals back off of Jack Ashawn makes some life choices. It's 3-2, but they get that back. I still haven't seen the goal in real time. Thank you for that, altitude. Cale Makar with a beautiful play off of the faceoff to make it 3-3 after the second period. I need more than a minute for this one. Third period, absolute unmitigated disaster. 2 minutes into the third period, you've turned a 3-3 game into a 5-3 game because Mackenzie Blackwood can't make a save and Brent Burns allegedly plays defense, but not actually. That's bad enough, and it only gets worse by multiple more power play opportunities for the Avalanche, not just falling to the wayside, but you seal the game by giving up a shorthanded goal from your best defenseman making a brain-dead play. You also give up an empty netter for the 7-3. This game did not have to be a disaster, but it was.
Yeah.
There's so much to get into.
I don't even truly have a huge problem with the first 2 periods. Like, Blackwood wasn't good. The defense also was giving up too many good looks. And this is the part of the Blackwood effort tonight that is so frustrating. It's not as binary as Mackenzie Blackwood was bad. The defense did not do great.
Yeah, both things were bad.
Defense, you look at every single goal that Mackenzie Blackwood gave up. 5 of the 6 are good scoring chances, or better. Some of them were great.
Sure.
Absolutely. True facts. They were good scoring chances. So it's not as simple as, well, Mackenzie Blackwood was bad and he let the team down. But you pay that guy to be the last line of defense in that situation. We just watched Lucas Dostal be spectacular 2 nights ago. You watch Sam Ersson in the first period.
Be significantly better than Blackwood. Yeah.
Like, what happens if Gavin Brindley scores right in front of the net just a couple of minutes into the game? And
whole different ball game. Yeah.
Like, it's so different. Like, you can't just go, oh, well, I made all the low danger saves. I'm so good. You have to make some tough saves sometimes. Yep. You can't just be like, oh, well, that guy was in a good scoring position. Can't do anything about it. What the hell do you mean you can't do anything about it? You're in the net. It's your job.
Mackenzie Blackwood.
What do you mean you can't do anything about it? What in the world are you doing then? Why are you there? If you can't make any difficult saves, why are you there? And we know he can. He has been really good this year. All the people that wanted to overreact and be like, he's actually been kind of shitty this season. Get out of my face with that. He's been really good. We know that there's way more in his game, that he can be way better than this, but he wasn't good. He's had 2 bad starts in a row, and that's probably why this feels as bad as it does. But this was awful. Make a save.
You can live in a world where he's had a couple of bad games for Blackwood and he's still a good goalie. Both of those things can be true. But you gave up 6 goals on 20 shots. I don't care if every single one of those is desperately high danger. Not good enough. Simple. Very simple math there. And it was actually 5 on 16. So essentially 33% of shots on net were going into the net. Not a good enough night by any stretch of the imagination by Mackenzie Blackwood. And it's hard to think that it could have gotten much worse on that front from the goaltending side, even with, you go up and down the Colorado Avalanche defense tonight. Who had a good game from the Colorado Avalanche defense? If you say no one, I would probably agree. Maybe Josh Manson was okay. Cale Makar scored an electric goal and actively detrimental to the hockey team tonight. Actively hurt them. Jack Ashawn, I feel bad for him. He's a call-up. It is what it is. The disaster of a play that was Philly's third goal is almost entirely on his head. And then you look up and down the rest of the defense, and you're not getting enough. Brent Burns was borderline unwatchable defensively tonight. Sam Malinsky's in over his head on the top pairing a little bit. It is what it is. Girard, kind of just floating through a hockey game. And this is where I struggle with the Avs defense. And I want to ask you a question, AJ, because we talked about how much the Avs miss Gabe Landeskog in the pregame. And I think I agree with you when you talk about all of the off-ice impact that Landy has. But on the ice, who do the Colorado Avalanche miss more? Devon Toews or Gabe Landeskog?
I think it's definitely Devon Toews. I mean, Gabe at this point in his career, Gabe Landeskog is like you could accurately say he's a middle six winger. If
fair.
That feels reductive. You could say he's a second line winger versus a top pairing defenseman. And like Devon Toews hasn't been incredible this year, but you see it. And what did I talk about in the pregame? It's not so much that your top pairing is hurting the way that it is, but it is also that your third pairing is hurting with no Sam Malinsky because Sam Malinsky's not a top pairing guy.
All the way down, it's a problem.
All the way, all three levels of your defense hurt a little bit more because a little bit more trust is now going into Manson Burns. That's exposing Brent Burns. Brent Burns hasn't had a good couple of weeks either.
Yep.
So missing Devon Toews is starting to really matter for them. Luckily, I mean, they're talking, is he going to travel on the road trip or is he going to join them? Either way, it sounds like he's ending up on the road trip at some point.
Yeah.
Which
Close.
Really sounds like he probably won't play in the Toronto game, and then who knows about the Ottawa, Montreal back-to-back. But, you knew it was going to hurt without Devon Toews, but Toews and Landeskog at the same time, that is an important double whammy. Like, they should be able to survive that because their best players should be good enough to get through that, but their best players are also a big part of a lot of these losses.
I do want to get into that too. And let's be honest. I know this is not what people want to hear right now. And don't worry, we're going to spend the rest of the show ranting and raving about all the stupid stuff that happened in this game. But they're 3-2-2 on this homestand. That's not great, but it's not like the Avs have imploded. The big picture of this homestand is you wanted more, but you're okay. It's just compounded heavily because this was the last game of the homestand. This was an opportunity for the Avs to really feel pretty decent about this stretch. And instead, you'd had an absolute disaster of a third period where you completely fell apart in a way that hasn't really happened yet this season for Colorado. And you're left with a sour taste in your mouth, right?
Yeah.
So, I do want to acknowledge the compounding factors there of, while there is some bad stuff across this stretch, is maybe not quite as bad as it seems. But tonight, no excuses. What the hell was that in the third period?
I mean, I've said the word embarrassing enough times.
Yes, absolutely embarrassing. But why it's so shocking is, like I said, not only have the Avs been the best team in the league in the third period to this point in the season, but to completely collapse like that in the way that they did. This was not a hard fought, the puck's not going for Colorado. This, that, the other thing. They come out in the third period and they lay an egg.
Yeah.
They have no gas.
It's the exact opposite of the Anaheim game where they were already outplaying the Ducks and then they just jammed on the gas even more. and we're just like, we are not going to lose this game 1-0. And that's much more indicative of what the Avs have been this season.
Yep.
Which is what made tonight so shocking, so frustrating, so infuriating, so rare. Like, and that's probably why we're going to overreact to it, is because it has not been their MO this year. It has not been it has not been in their identity, their DNA, to have third periods like this where they just go away.
Yeah.
They just
true.
fall away from the game. It was like, hey, we got back from the 2-0. Okay, then we give up the third goal immediately. Okay, we erased the 3-2. We're at 3-3. The game is essentially 0-0. Then they gave up another one, and they just went.
I think we're done. I think we're done.
Yeah, like we gave that goal up. We're not getting it from Blackie tonight, so it is what it is. But hey, we'll get him in Toronto, and that's just annoying because it has not been who they've been. They've been so reliably dominant in third periods, and all of that was, like I said, it was bizarro night at Ball Arena because they haven't been this team this year.
I want to dig into this more, but we do need to take our first break of the show, so let's shout out a couple of our sponsors. If you have a disaster like that third period from the Colorado Avalanche, you're going to want to get with New Built Restoration and Construction. They've got your back. They're licensed general contractors who can help with any project, big or small, and they're available 24/7 and truly care about being there for their customers. Over 600 reviews to prove that to be true. They'll work with your insurance to make sure a stressful process is as smooth as possible, and they offer a number of different services, including fire damage, water damage, mold removal, repair services in general, and even will work on commercial projects. So reach out to them. They're great to work with. Highly recommend if something bad does happen. They're also true DNVR fans, and they're super excited to be part of the family. So support them, support us. It's one big happy circle. When that home emergency hits, New Built Restoration and Construction will be there at newbuilt.com. That's NUBILT.com, or call 720-903-4254 to let them know DNVR sent you. And hopefully, the damage is not as serious as the damage that happened in that third period. Then it won't be that big of a deal, but New Built has your back. Once you've taken care of business with New Built, make sure you're also taking care of business with your internet. Xfinity has the 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, and like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense, it lets you stream the game even when the whole family is online. What if you could have that reliable Wi-Fi and it could keep you at the same price for 5 whole years? That's what the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee is. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment included. Take it from me. A lot can change across 5 years. Lots of different stuff. Think about where the Colorado Avalanche were in 2017 as opposed to where they were winning the Cup in 2022. A lot changes. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Of course, select plans only. Restrictions do apply. Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. AJ, I think in big picture, it's easy to overlook some of these issues because you'll get a Devon Toews back. You get a Landeskog back. The Avs will target a left-handed D at the trade deadline to help shore up some of the issues that maybe they're having. I'm down. Do it tomorrow. I'm in. If there's a guy available.
Now. Make sure that there's no access to that tape and you get on the horn and you talk up whoever you have to about Sam Girard and move that guy off. I'm over it, man. I'm done. It's time.
It's been an interesting season for Sam Girard. He had his injury early in the year. He comes back. It takes him a long time to get into the groove. He has maybe 3 weeks to a month where he looks really good. The production starts to come back. Things start to fall into place. And more than just this homestand, since the start of January, if not earlier, we've watched it fall apart. Now, part of this is maybe you're overextending a guy. Maybe you're asking him to do a lot of, look, if he's got to be the defensively responsible one, you're playing him with Jack Ashawn tonight. Unfortunately, you know what you're signing up for when you play those two together in the defensive zone to a certain extent. You're going to be in trouble at times.
Yeah, and you know that you're giving it up in front of the net, and like you look at like the fifth goal, the
Yeah.
Michkov
Yeah.
tip. Like he's not even in a competitive position. Girard has boxed him out. He's done a good
Out-muscled,
job.
out-positioned
Yeah,
is
he's
what it
done
is.
everything, and then Michkov makes a great play to get his stick in the right angle and get the tip. Like I'm not even mad about that. That's a great play. I'm not mad at Blackwood for that one. That's a great play. But then you go and you look at the way he's booting the puck around
Yeah.
on what is it, their third goal?
Yep.
And what the hell are you guys doing? What is Parker Kelly doing on that play? They're just tinkering
I'm at
with
a
the puck in front of
loss
their
for
own
what
net,
Parker
man.
Kelly was doing. That was nonsense. Yeah.
Like they're just I'm
And,
just
well,
I you can get through a regular season like this,
of
and
course.
this is like the downside of it, right? But you can't continue to be this soft in front of your own net.
Yep.
When it comes playoff time, and like tonight
Factual.
wasn't a playoff game. So it's tough. Like I don't want to over index on one game, because this isn't my frustration with Sam Girard. Is just that Sam Malinsky's outplayed him in
By a
every
lot.
meaningful facet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just not.
Well,
he's outplayed him. Do I buy that that's going to continue? I do, because Sam Girard's been the same guy for a long time now.
well,
And
those
I
net
just
front
think
issues get amplified, right? Because it's not just Sam Girard. It's arguably everyone on the team, but Josh Manson is struggling there right now. Cale Makar has been a borderline disaster in front of his own net. He makes up for a lot of that with his offensive ability, but you look at all of the guys, and this is even getting beyond the defense. You just mentioned Parker Kelly. Scores a great goal to get the Avs on the board, gives it back. Cale Makar scores a great goal to get this game tied 3-3 in a desperation power play situation. He gives up a clean breakaway the other game, and the game gets iced because of his direct mistake. You can't... The Avs can't keep giving it back. They make their lives so difficult this year. And I think there's a bigger picture conversation to have here. When the Avs were healthy, they spent a lot of games making life harder than it had to be, but they are just so good that they overcome it anyway. You have to find ways to make your life easier, especially when you're down a few guys.
Yeah, and your life gets a lot easier when your goaltender makes saves, because he bails it out.
Very
and
true.
It makes the mistakes that you make minimized, and they become amplified when they all end up in the back of the net.
Yep, it's true.
Like, it just becomes very obvious. But we're talking about Cale. I mean, look at his defense on the PK on the first goal.
Yeah.
First goal?
I think it was the second goal.
Sorry,
He's
goal.
covering
There were so many,
one.
my
He's
eyes started to blur.
Covering no one in the crease. Literally non-competitive.
Yeah, he goes to cover Michkov with the puck down low, and like Michkov is not aggressively trying to take it to the net. Why are you doing that? Why are you attacking that guy and leaving the guy wide open in the slot?
Yep.
Why do you do that? I just don't understand what the thought process is there, because what does it opens that pass up. And as a right-handed shot, he should, in theory, be able to collapse on that and then make the play on his forehand if the guy tries to make that centering pass. That doesn't happen. Cale can't get his stick into the shooting lane. He can't get his body there. None of it. He's not competitive. And how many times have I said over the last couple of years, he can't be on your PK? He's a bad PK player.
Yep.
He has been for a few years.
He shouldn't be there.
Every time that there's a big Norris conversation, it's a lot of like, oh, but Cale plays on the PK. Yeah, he doesn't do a good job on the PK. He hasn't been a good PK guy for a while, if ever.
I think probably never. At the peak of Devon Taves' powers, he was just dragging him to success on the thing. But
right, and I'm hey, the not having Devon Taves is hurting him
for sure, no doubt.
But all of a sudden, like, the points aren't enough.
Right. You can score a million points if you give them all back. What does it matter?
When you lose Devon Taves, you're like, okay, the three guys that you really want on your PK to build around are Devon Taves, Josh Manson, and Brent Burns. Mm-hmm. You'll put Cale Makar out there because he's Cale Makar, and you're trusting him. He's so great, and he can push the pace when he gets control of the puck. He can actually do some stuff with it, and good puck skill, right?
Yep.
Understatement if there ever was one. But yeah, like you're like, okay, well, Cale Makar and Sam Girard has actually been a pretty decent PK player in his career.
Yep.
Not great, but like a passable PK guy.
Usable.
But you're looking at that unit is struggling. And you're looking at what they're bleeding, and it's the exact kind of chances that they gave up last year that they stopped giving up the first half of this season. The first 35 games.
It's crept back in.
Yeah. It's they're giving up so many looks.
I want to stop you here just because this conversation is our Xfinity X Factor conversation for the show. So this will expand to the power play as well, but we can start with the PK conversation. AJ, you've been following this closely, I know, and the penalty kill has been trending in the wrong direction for 2 months now, and we're starting to see those cracks kind of start appearing as pucks actually going into the net, and it's hurting the Avs. Not even necessarily because their PK is so bad, but because of where their power play is. If their PK is anything less than elite, they're going to lose the special teams battle.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, because they're not scoring on the power play. Your best bet is that you go 0-0.
Yep. That's what you're trying to do. And I looked it up before the show. On this homestand, the Avs are 4 for 23 on the power play, which isn't particularly special. You're talking about under 20%. 2 of those goals come in the Ottawa game. You take away the Ottawa 8-2 blowout. The Avs are 2 for 17 across their last 6 games on the homestand on the power play. And with the shorty they give up tonight, that's a net 1 for 17 across this stretch. You are drifting into territory where the power play is untenable. Arguably, the power play has been untenable long before this homestand.
Yeah,
but we finally
drifting.
Look, what I mean is where the Avs are at now, the power play is now costing them games. They were so good for so long that they could get away with it. But now that we've seen some regression, now that we've seen some injuries, the power play is actively damaging their ability to get points in the regular season. You end up going -2 on special teams tonight. And the third period had a myriad of other issues that, again, we'll get into. But if your power play just goes even in the first period, it's a completely different game. You're not having to desperately dig deep in the second period. Maybe you don't run out of gas in the third period. But your special teams are just killing you.
Yeah. I mean, this entire season, one thing I really like about NHL stat tracking was not only do they have your power play percentage and your PK percentage, but they have the net next to it.
Yep.
Which calculates your power play and shorthanded
including
goals given up.
shorties, yeah.
Yeah. Guess where the Avs are after tonight's game? Guess where the Avs are?
Net. The last time I looked, they were around like 13%. So maybe they're down to like 12 now.
Worse. It's 11.3, which is dead last in the NHL.
And giving up the most shorties of anyone in the league, by the way, with 7, including tonight's.
So, and it's the same kind of stuff that kills you in overtime, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same, like, okay, why are they bad at 3-on-3? Why are they bad on the power play? Because you have to understand what you're doing. You can't just be so super talented that you get away with it, right?
Yep.
And at 5-on-5, the Avs are great. They're like the weirdest great team in the league. Their best players are elite at 5v5. And then they get into overtime, then they get on the power play, and they have to actually think the game a little bit, and they suck.
How many times can we keep doing this year? It feels like they've gone back to the drawing board 6 times with this power play. We talked a week ago about how do you just have to fire Dave Haxtell again? How many more buttons are there to push before the power play is just a lost cause?
I mean, a week ago I mentioned that they needed to fire Haxtell now. Isn't that where we just are?
I
this was
yes, but is that
this was
enough?
it was a dead hire the moment that they made it, because
I don't
one,
disagree.
this isn't a guy. This wasn't a guy who had any like meaningful like power play success anywhere he went. He's never been that guy. They did it because he had head coaching experience, and they wanted a guy that Nathan MacKinnon would feel comfortable bossing around. Basically,
Yeah.
Nathan MacKinnon is a power play coach.
We know.
You can't
We
fire
all
him.
know. You can't
I've
fire
said
him,
this
but
all season.
you could put him on the bench for a game.
And that's the thing. It's time. It's time. You can fire Dave Haxtell. They should. He's not good at his job. But who are you going to pull off of the unemployment line that's going to improve it? Because, I mean, you look in the bottom of the power plays in the NHL, like Ray Bennett is right there. His New York Islanders power play is 29th. So, like, the Avs are 27th. So I guess technically they fired the guy and got better than what the guy giving away, the guy that left, is doing now. But it's so much worse than last year's. But right now, it looks like you're trending towards having the exact same playoff power play as you did in the loss to Dallas, which cost you a series. Like, this regular season is fun, and the Avs are great at 5v5, and that's awesome. They're a really good team. They're a deep team. They're very talented. But you're looking at the power play right now, and you're going, this is going to be a thing that costs them a series. You just can't ignore the inevitability of this. And I know Jared Bednar wanted to pretend otherwise recently when he was like, oh, since we had our big meeting, like, if you cut off the abbreviated power plays, the ones like the one with Manson on it in the Ottawa game where we were trying to get him out, he's like, if you cut all these ones off, we're at like 25%, which, like, hey, we want to be better than that, but even that is a big improvement. All right, bitch, now what? Where are we at?
How can you continue? At what point?
At?
Sure. You want to fire the coach? Fine. I don't care. At a certain point, your top players have to take responsibility here. There has to be some accountability of
that's it.
Give me one game where you make those guys sit on the bench for the power play and think about it.
Watch them.
We all know.
Go watch Parker Kelly on the power play. At least getting to the net and working hard. Because they're not working hard. There's no sense of urgency. They're so lackadaisical. Every time that they start to give up an odd man rush the other way, you look at
the laziest team in the league. The laziest team in the league at that.
Just coasting back there, man.
It's a
They're
joke.
Like, somebody else will figure it out. I don't understand. You have two truly elite players in Makar and MacKinnon, and one, like, I don't know, like a top 50 player. I don't really know where to put Marty Necas.
Sure.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You've got three really great players.
Yep.
And when they start to give up a chance against, and
they give up. They quit on the play. They absolutely do.
Quit. Bad body language, somebody else will do it. They have lost some of the we're gonna go to work, we're gonna grind it out. This is some of the Landeskog effect, though. This is some of the this is our leader that is going to keep us in line. They go right back and like, look, this has obviously been happening even with Landy on the ice this year and on the bench. It's still been a bad power play. But you see some of the way that they're playing the game is very frustrating. And frankly, it's one reason why fans love the Parker Kellys and the Gavin Brindleys of the world. Those guys care.
Yep.
They get out there and they are all go. They are all gas, no brakes the entire time. Every team needs a little bit of that, right? Every team should want a lot more than a little bit of that. But with the Avalanche, their best players just coast sometimes. And it is amplified. When things go wrong, it is amplified in this way. This game is a great example of that. Nathan MacKinnon finishes with 2 primary assists. Plays terribly.
Yeah.
Cale Makar scores an awesome goal.
Meaningless. Because of his mistakes.
Night. Exactly. And like, are we having the same conversation if Mackenzie Blackwood has a good night?
No. The Avs probably win this game easily if Mackenzie Blackwood even has a good night. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
But that's not what happened. And sometimes you need people to step up and make the right play and have a big game. And instead, the Avs are compounding issues instead of finding the great play. We got to move on. That was the X Factor presented by Xfinity. Imagine that. We do need to take our second break of the show, so let's make sure we hit up a couple more of our sponsors, including our presenting sponsor, Bet365. I bet the over tonight. That at least hit. We got that going for us, if nothing else. So take your wins where you can with Bet365. You can sign up today with code DNVR365. Put $10 in your account, bet $5 on anything. You get $200 in bonus bets. Win or lose that $5 bet. You don't even have to hit it, and you get $200 in bonus bets to bet wherever you want. Avs might not be the best bet in town right now. You can go bet on the Broncos. You can go bet on the Nuggets. You can find fun bets no matter where you're at. Of course, Bet365, an official partner of the Colorado Avalanche. They also offer early payout offers in the NHL. If your team gets up by 3 and you pick them to win, you get paid out immediately. So make sure you use that DNVR365 code over at Bet365. Get your $200 in bonus bets. Of course, when you do gamble with them, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. And if you got a little bit of money from Bet365, maybe it's time to set up a consistent stream of selling with Shopify. Shopify is the e-commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and are 10% of all e-commerce in the US. When you use other sales platforms or marketplace apps, they all take a big cut. It's a high percentage fee. Shopify doesn't have that. You can make a lot more of the money you actually sell when it comes from Shopify. Shopify does a ton more than just sell, though. They even power the DNVR merch store. They've got you covered with website creation, product descriptions, emails, social media marketing, and more. They even have AI tools designed to help you maximize sales. So if you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into cha-ching with Shopify on your side. Sign up for $1 per month trial, $1 a month on the trial, and start selling today at Shopify.com. That's Shopify.com/ALLCITY. Cha-ching! Get with Shopify. For real, though. They're really good at what they do. Go check them out if you're trying to sell. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. AJ, you got a smirk on your face there.
Yeah, the cha-ching was funny.
I thought you were about to make a joke about how the Avs did a great job of selling this game. So
No, I'm not even that far into it, man. I just thought that the ka-ching was funny. I like the sound effects.
Let's go. Very little to take away positive from this game, which is impressive because the Avs played probably 35 minutes of great hockey. The first 10 minutes of the first period were complete domination with a lack of finishing ability. Almost the entirety of the second period, outside of one mess of a hockey play from Jack Ashawn, you feel pretty good about. Is there concern? My concern here is, and you can expand this to this entire homestand. I talked about this on the watch along. Every single game of this homestand, the team that scored first won. We're talking about a brutal schedule in the NHL this year. Is the exhaustion of having to put yourself in tough spots to come back, to fight back, is this starting to wear down on the Avs a little bit?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we need to dig. I don't think we need to, blow it out that much. They got worse goaltending at times on this homestand than they had been getting for much of the season, and even though they had a Trent Minor shutout, which what?
Yep.
So their goaltending was a little bit worse. The injuries to Taves and Landeskog and their forward and Ross Colton. I mean, their forward core is beat up right now, but the principles are still there, and so you are, you are expecting them to still be able to get the job done, but because those injuries are there and because their goaltending hasn't quite been at the same level, their margin for error is much, much smaller. And
True.
That's been a huge part of this. When your margin for error is smaller and you make dumb mistakes, your life gets harder. Your goalie is there to kind of help bail you out of some of the dumb stuff. And when those guys aren't at an elite level, they weren't elite on this homestand. But
not even close, but they weren't as bad as maybe we feel in this moment.
Yeah, I mean, they had 2 7-3 losses, right? And
Yep.
empty net goals were a part of that.
Yeah,
But it's
the
like,
Nashville loss was a lot closer than this one. I'll put it to you that way.
oh, certain, yeah, they. It's tough. There was only one period where the Avs just completely sold in this game, and it was the third, and that's winning time, and that's where the Avs have been so good. That's why this is weird.
Yep.
But I think the decreased margin of error is a really important part of this.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And it just it goes to show you it's really hard to win games in the NHL. You don't get to just show up. And I mentioned after the Avs had gotten out to such a huge lead in the standings, my biggest concern was complacency. Was that they could go and look at the standings every day and they go, we're 12 up. It's going to take, even if we lost every game for the next 2 weeks,
we'd still be in the lead. Yeah,
we'd still be up. And I think that has made it hard for them to go to work with the same kind of edge that they really need to have.
Yeah.
And then Dallas and Minnesota have both been so bad.
Also cratering, yeah.
Yeah, in the recent stretch, we're talking about the Avs in the last 10, they've been not good.
And still better records than both Dallas and Minnesota, right. Yeah.
A 4-4-2 stretch, by the way. They have a 10-point lead over Dallas and Minnesota. They have with 3 games in hand on
the ass. Yeah. Yeah.
They're 4-4-2 in the last 10. Dallas is 4-5-1, and Minnesota's 4-4-2. So they have gained 0 ground. Literally 0 ground.
Yep.
Minnesota did a better job because they broke even.
Yep.
And the Stars
stayed
lost
flat. Yeah. And this is
that. I think the complacency. I think that they've lost the edge a little bit. I don't feel like we need to invent excuses for them playing poorly. They've just played poorly.
Sure. I think the Avs having a poor stretch in an 82-game season is not that surprising. It's not something that you should be overly concerned about. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But when you see a game that ends the way this game does, when you see the end of a road or a homestand that ends with the Avs, frankly, for the most part, giving up in that third period, those are the types of signs that you see and say, we need to stop that immediately. These are the types of things you have to prevent from letting this get out of hand and becoming a real problem.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would agree with you. These are the things that, I think we could probably stop talking about the 22-23 Bruins now.
Yep. You're no longer the unbeatable, ridiculous regular season team.
Right. And had you told me at the start of the year that the Avs would have lost their 6th regulation game of the season on
January 23rd.
January 24th. Oh, 23rd. You're right.
That's 24th for you now. Yeah.
It's 24th. Yeah, that's where I went wrong. I would have been amazing.
Great.
Oh, I'm going to have to post-game pot that night because Justin is sick. I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm just going to be like, hey, it's all good. But I want to, once again, I really, really want to stress my anger about this is largely contained to tonight.
Yep.
Except the power play.
The special teams in general, I would say. Yeah.
The power, and the PK has been worse. I think it's 8th in the NHL since
it's
December 1st.
It's still fine. It's fine.
Right. You're like, some of the process was exceptional to start the year. It hasn't been that good. Frankly, it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You don't have your best penalty killer.
Been missing all season. Yeah.
So there are a lot of really good signs there. It's just, this is a really frustrating thing because as you mentioned, with the power play not able to do much of anything ever, watching the PK struggle at all puts them behind the 8 ball. They have to win handily at 5v5 every single night. They have to outplay the other team and then they have to outfinish them. And that's really, really hard to do in the NHL. It's really, really, really hard to do.
And that last bit is very important because I think even with some of the third period poop, the Avs probably still outplayed this team at 5-on-5 for the majority of the game, except for the finishing.
The hard part is that the chances that Philadelphia created were a little better than what Colorado did.
The defensive lapses tonight were the big dumb, right?
Yeah.
When the Avs made a mistake, it was disastrously big.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at scoring. I think this is a good scoring chances tonight at 5v5 are 23-17.
But high dangers are?
High dangers are 12-7 for Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty important consideration. And it's not like a third period swayed that. The Avs actually only allowed 2 high danger chances in the third period. These are 5v5 numbers, sorry.
Right.
And only created the 1. So they weren't really dangerous. They created a lot of scoring chances, but they weren't really dangerous. They weren't in the middle of the ice. It was the same thing that we saw a lot with the Ducks, although the third period of the Ducks game sort of flipped that narrative into overdrive, where they found plenty of the middle of the ice. Dostal was just amazing. So they've just regressed into some of last year's bad habits, giving up a little bit too much in front of their own net, staying to the perimeter a little bit too much. But also, is it a real surprise that they started staying to the perimeter a little bit more when Ross Colton has now missed a couple of games here and there and is battling injuries? And then Gabe Landeskog is out. Like, that's one of your prime tough guys. That's one of your big uglies that is going to get to the middle of the ice and create that space for you. They're not as good in that area without Landy. Big shock. Of course they're not.
Yep.
He's an important guy.
Big picture, there's plenty of this to live with. The individual game, almost nothing redeemable from this hockey game if you're the Colorado Avalanche. Some resilience in the second period to battle back, I guess, if you're really digging deep. But
that's my stud.
Yeah.
That was my one stud of the night, was the second period pushback. That's genuinely good. They could have folded up shop. They didn't. They pushed. They came out. They could have folded up shop after the 3-2 goal. They got it to 3-3. They were outplaying Philly. Like, you have to feel really good about that. And then how it all ended makes you feel like, who cares? Oh, you won the second period.
Big deal.
Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Third period is winning time, baby.
And thankfully, there's not a lot of reason to believe this will continue, but you hope that that experience of a third period is something that sticks with the Avs as that reminder of maybe they have gotten a little too complacent. Maybe it's time to step that game back up again. Maybe it's an opportunity to say, hey, we need to do a better job of setting ourselves up for success instead of going into the third period 3-3. Whatever it might be. Do have more to talk about, but we do need to take our final break of the show. So let's make sure we get over and shout out a few more of our sponsors, including the Rocky Mountain Cancer Centers. They're an official sponsor of Denver sports fans. This season, Rocky Mountain Cancer Center is proud to be that official sponsor because when life calls an audible, you need a team that won't back down and is ready to take your treatment head on. Rocky Mountain Cancer Centers will rally around Denver sports fans with the same passion, pride, and relentless spirit you've brought to every game day. You show up for your team, loud, loyal, and all in, and they will show up for you. The team that shows up for you is at Rocky Mountain Cancer Centers. Go get with them, Rocky Mountain Cancer Centers. Your courage, our expertise. Head to RockyMountainCancerCenters.com to learn more today. And, once you're getting yourself checked out there, make sure you also check out a great cause in Big Brothers Big Sisters. January is National Mentoring Month, and ALLCITY Network is proud to partner with Big Brothers Big Sisters because showing up for your city goes beyond sports. Right now, thousands of kids are waiting for a mentor, someone to listen, to encourage, to simply be there, and the impact is real. Just a few hours a month can help a young person build confidence, stay on track, and see a bigger future. If you care about your community the way you care about your teams, this is your moment to make a difference. Become a mentor today at bbbs.org/allcity. That's bbbs.org/allcity. Step up, be a big, and help shape the next generation right here in our city. Final period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. I am pretty curious to see Coach Bednar's thoughts on this game and how it played out. So let's hear from Girard in his post-game presser.
Girard, Bednar, go ahead, Evan.
Tight game, but you guys were controlling the majority of the plays in the first two periods. What did you kind of see flipping there?
I don't know what happened at the start there. Mismanaging the puck and then just not heading to the right spot. So, I mean, the start of the third was horrible. But I agree with that. Like, it's hard to be critical after the first when I felt like we were playing really good. We just couldn't buy a goal, and, they got a couple chances and put them in the back of the net. So, come back out storming out in the second period and square it, and then we make a mistake and it ends up in the back of our net, and come back again to tie it. And so I'm thinking we're gonna have a really good third, but the start of that third was too sloppy, and they came out working and we were kicking the puck around, and they earned another couple chances and buried them. So then it was out of reach.
Megan, the nerve.
When it comes to the power play, what are some of the challenges, if any, when it comes to proposing new ideas, implementing them, especially considering there are aspects of it that should be unchanged because they're just so essential?
Yeah, I think it's balancing, doing the right thing all the time, being critical of execution, and it's got to be five guys on the same page, right? And a little bit like our 5-on-5 recently in some of our losses. It's like you got four guys doing the right thing and then one guy kind of on his own page, and then we don't have the out we need or whatever. So there's too many, forced plays that I think we can keep in the zone. But all five of those guys are working to get on the same page. And some of our chances, like tonight, the chances aren't coming at the pace we want them to come at. But if you look at, there's a handful of really good chances from the slot that we don't capitalize on. So then you do the right thing and we get a good chance, and we're just having a tough time repeating that. I think confidence is down on the power play a little bit. So, being too critical, kind of balancing how much we get after our guys and how much we try and encourage our guys, and fighting the urge to flip guys off and try new guys all the time is sort of the toughest challenge we have right now.
Earth and Ryan.
To kind of add to that, it did feel like the first two power plays in the first looked, a lot better than the ones in the third. Is that just like frustrations and players kind of being upset with how it's going as the game goes on?
I think it's more feeling the urgency and forcing it in the third period. Like we did have the flurry, like Cale gets a couple looks from the middle, walking right down. We missed the net on a couple of our chances. We had one more good look. I think it was Olofsson on the one-timer in the third period from the middle. And then retrievals and forcing it, or not making the easy play to the outlet, or not working to be the outlet quick enough. We're digging into all of it, right? But it seems like it's one power play, it's one thing, and then every time they get a clear, if they're not getting to the loose puck first, then we have to make something happen and be able to survive it to extend ozone time. And right now it just seems like we're kind of one and done a little bit there.
Right.
How difficult is it to balance between, getting shots on net on the power play and trying to manage the desperation, especially when you're behind? And how difficult is it to, remain disciplined under pressure?
Yeah, it's been a challenge. Like just shot selection and when to shoot and when not to shoot is like, we want to be an attacking power play that is shooting it. But there's also an element of patience and taking what the team gives you, that, and being able to work through their pressure. That's a little bit of a challenge. I don't know, like the urgency I feel like is there. I think we're lacking a little bit more on the decision-making process, like throughout the course of a power play at times. So I think that's been hurting us as much as anything. And execution.
Calling the Jesse.
After the Predators loss, you had said that the team didn't play full 60 minutes. Do you feel that is the same way tonight? Did you see similarities in those two?
Well, again, I can't. I'm not going to be critical of our team for the first period just because we come out of it down 2-0. Did I like the goals they got? No. One's a power play and one, is a little bit of a lucky bounce. He shoots it, we block it, it goes right back on his tape. But I liked our first period a lot, and a lot of the things we did and we talked about going into the game. And then same thing with the second. So you got 40 minutes under your belt where you're playing real well, confidence is high, and then you come out and make a lot of bad mistakes and do some strange things at the start of the third period that cost you, right? So that part of the game, the first 4 or 5 minutes of the third period, I didn't like. But you can't have windows like that in tie games going into the third period, right?
Jesse?
Cale made the point to single out that, hey, there wasn't enough that we did defensively to support back. But maybe the second game in a row for McKenzie, just a little bit out of character from what we've seen. Just what are your thoughts after he came back from this injury?
Yeah, he's got to get in the groove. He hasn't played enough hockey. He's got to get going. Like, we're going to need him to be really good. He started the year pretty good when he got back from injury, in and out of the lineup a lot, managing some of the injuries. I mean, there's no question he can play a lot better than what we've seen over the last couple of games, and we're going to need him to, right? Like, I think our goaltending through the first part of the season was really good, and that's why we were winning on a nightly basis. It's also why we were, winning by multiple goals every night, and it seemed like it was a little bit easier. That's kind of gone away for us here a little bit recently, and we're shorthanded, so the whole package isn't where it was, so we're gonna need our goalies to be better, right? But we have confidence he can get there, but he's got to get playing some hockey here.
Last two, Bailey, then D-Mac.
You talked a little bit about Parker Kelly's elevated game on the third line, but I'm wondering the influence you see on guys like Bartikov and Cale Makar, who have mentioned him by name as being a guy who they lean on, or at least he leans on a lot to improve their game.
Well, like, Parker's a true pro. Everything he does is for the team. He's an unselfish guy. And, like, he understands, like, we've had a lot of, turmoil in the bottom six, especially recently, right? And he wants to make an impact in the game, and so he's helping those guys. Like, he's a great leader that way. He's helping those guys every chance he gets. He's talking to them pre-game, after the pre-scout meeting, during the game, on the bench, because he wants his line to have success, and the best way to do that is to elevate the two guys around him, regardless of how much experience they have, right? So I love that from him, and then he's also seeing time, like with guys like Jack and Kivy, which we're getting some good shifts out of now that they're back again. And he's just trying to make the biggest impact on the game as he can, and he's done that both on the defensive side of it and offensively. He's chipping in as well. I think that's 10 goals for Kels tonight. It's a heck of a start to the season.
D-Mac, finish it.
Pretty long homestand. How'd you sum it up in total? If you looked at the whole thing in 7 games.
Well, if we'd won tonight, I'd have been really happy. 4-1 and 2, right? I think that's a good homestand. Losing tonight and just the way we lost kind of puts a bitter taste in my mouth. So I'd say for our team, regardless of personnel and some of the stuff we're going through right now, I'd say just not quite good enough.
Yeah, thank you, Jared.
Thank you.
Just not good enough feels like an understatement. But from Bednar to Bailey Curtis on the Xfinity Mobile call-in line, joining us live from Ball Arena. Bailey, the word embarrassing getting thrown around a little bit earlier on this pod. Is it that bad tonight?
Yeah, it's not great. 3-2-2 on the homestand. I think Bednar is kind of sugarcoating that a little bit. It's not exactly the expectation for this team at this point in the season where they are. It's getting down to the point of it being like there's no excuse. Not having Landeskog, not having Devon Toews, that sucks. That is bound to drag a team down. That's the definition of the adversity the Avalanche started facing when they started going through this slump. It's getting to a point, though, where that can't be enough to defend exactly what we're seeing from this team. You got to play better. You need your top guys to perform. It can't just be Cale Makar scoring. You need more out of your top line. I say top line. Victor Olofsson had a goal tonight.
Good score.
He had a goal, but it was an amazing goal. But when he's the only one on your top line providing any sort of goal type offense on the top line. Like it's just not good enough.
It's tough because even the guys providing the goals, Cale Makar scores a goal tonight, is also giving stuff back on the defensive end. Same thing of Parker Kelly. If you're Colorado, at what point do you have to stop leaning into the positives and address the negatives?
I don't know, as though they've done a lot of leaning on positives
For
this
sure.
season. But there hasn't been a whole lot of negative to lean on, and that I think is something that's really hurting that team in this team. So I don't know, as though I want it. Like, obviously, they're used to leaning on the positives. I'm sure there's a lot. Bednar did a lot of that tonight, and saying, like, how can I fault them for the way they played through the first 40 minutes of this game? Like, there's a lot going into this. Cale even mentioned too, like, they had all the momentum heading into the third period. They've done their part in leaning on positives, but I think not leaning enough on those negatives and not being able to take those in stride and letting them affect the way that they're playing is starting to become a bit of an issue to them. Maybe it's just because I'm watching too much Shoresy with Grant or what lately, but it's looking like they don't hate to lose right now. Like that's kind of becoming the issue here for me. Like, you've already lost 7-3 once on this homestand, and that was not embarrassing enough to sit there and take a look in the mirror and say, like, hey, there's some positives to take out of this, absolutely, but there's a lot to look at in terms of how you got to where you got to end the night. Easy as that.
Go ahead.
Rudo, I think I reject the premise.
Okay.
The Avs under Jared Bednar have never been a team that lives in the negative. They've always been one that have sort of appreciated the positive, and then they acknowledge the negative and talk about, okay, hey, we got to get better. But I mean, so much of life is about what you do with the negative when you're in it. And one thing that Jared Bednar does at a really high level, and one reason why he's a really effective NHL coach and will be for a really long time, is because the message that he sends is, what's done is done. You can't dwell on this. It doesn't serve you to live in this. It serves you to take this and use it as fuel to get better. We saw that the start of this year, the way that they played is in part a direct reflection of how angry they were about how last season finished. So I don't think that this is a team that wants to live in the negative. I think that they just need to accept that they're not at their best right now. No team is going to be at their best for 82 games. It's not a great stretch. They're banged up and they're not playing as well as they had been. It's a bad combination. I think that it's just an acknowledgement. I mean, he could have cut down every single thing that he said in that press conference could have been eliminated. And you could have just walked away with the very, very end of it when he just said,
not good enough.
It's just not. You're saying it's he undersold that a little bit? I don't think so. I think it's just accurate. They're just not good enough. Sometimes in sports, it just boils down to it's just not good enough. And that's true. He doesn't need to single any player out. It's not, oh, Parker Kelly did this, or oh, Zakar Bardakov did that, or Nathan McKinnon or Cale Makar. It's all of them collectively, as a unit, as a group. It's not good enough, and that's a fair criticism to say across the entire spectrum of the group right now. At 5v5 on the penalty kill on the power play, none of them good enough on the homestand. That means that there's room for them to get better. That's their opportunity.
I can live with that. But my follow-up question would be for you, Bailey. Who's going to take responsibility about the special teams? Who does it have to be?
I don't know how it's not your top guys. That you look at the special teams unit up and down. None of it was great tonight. Like, I don't know as though I have a whole lot of good to say about the penalty kill either. The second best in the league, by the way. Second best penalty kill, allowing something on the 30th best power play. There's the power play is an anomaly. I don't know how else to put it. Like the consistency is becoming the biggest issue here. Because, I mean, we've sat and we've broken this thing down inside out, reversed, dropped it off to the island of misfit toys, tried to fix it again, and it's just not. I don't really know what else there is to do with it. How else you rework it? You have a big meeting a couple weeks ago to, collectively, hey, let's try anything. Let's try everything. Well, whoever has ideas, throw them into the pot and let's try to figure this thing out. And it works for a little bit. And you love it. And then you get to games like this and you look back at those games where it looked good. And I'm speechless on it. That the consistency is just not, like, you talk about things that are just not good enough. This is horrible. Like, this is, there's, and I don't know how to fix it. Like, I don't know how that is not the glaring issue for them right now. How this is not the, okay, if we can be a little better on these opportunities that we were given, this is a different game. We can put ourselves in a position where we're leading after the second. And maybe you have all the momentum after being tied after the second. And I mean, obviously you see how that third started. But that's a completely different story if the power play converts. If you do something with the chances that you're given. I'm lost for words.
Yeah. It didn't get you in the game. It didn't keep you in the game. It actively ended the game for you. All bad.
Yeah. I mean, who knew that crowdsourcing your power play problem wasn't fixed?
Again, and that's the biggest thing for me. That's the issue. Like, you get something good after crowdsourcing it. You get somewhat of a decent result after crowdsourcing it. Now we're, 7-5 games after the crowdsourcing, and it still looks like crap.
Yeah.
I don't, like, that's where they need to start to look a little inward. Is like they know they have the assets, they know they have the personnel, they know they have the capabilities to sit there and produce on the power play. Many of the guys have said this in the room. Like, it is a surprise because we know we have the talent for it. We know we have the ability to move the puck, to rely on our top guys to be the difference maker on the power play. We've seen it happen. There is no excuse.
Yeah. Unfortunately, from the Avs, talk is cheap and results are what matter. So just ask how much I make and talk is cheap. Trust me.
Whoa! Whoa! What's that about?
I'm just saying, you compare my paycheck for talking compared to their paycheck for playing. The talk is cheap.
Honestly, there needs to be, I don't know how much of a look you. Again, we've already had the Hackstall conversation too, but there's a lot of inward looking that needs to happen here. Talk may be cheap, but apparently they are getting paid a whole lot to do a whole little here as well. So
on the power play right now, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah.
Do we want numbers?
Pop off, King.
Please.
Cool. Since January 1st. You got to do your thing?
It's good. Your go.
Cool. The conversation, DNVR, overtime. Online.
Yeah, that.
Since January 1st, the Avalanche power play, this is just a rates. This doesn't consider anything else. This is just how often things are happening at a per 60 basis. The Avalanche are 11th in shot attempts. They are 13th in shots on goal. They are 23rd in expected goals. So, you know where this is headed? They are 21st in scoring chances.
Yeah.
And let's see. They are 28th in high danger chances. So the power play is doing the same thing.
You're generating
it's
garbage.
Shooting more often. It's shooting more often than it was. Great.
To what end?
That's great.
Improvements.
But the scoring chances and the high danger chances aren't moving. They're static. This is the same range that they have been most of the year.
Passing it
That's
around for 20
unacceptable.
seconds instead of 30 seconds for Cale Makar to take a nothing wrister from the point is not getting you anything.
Yeah, exactly. Cale Makar had like 18 shot attempts the other day against Anaheim, and he had like 6 shots on goal or something. Like, it's
Yep.
a huge issue that this guy can't hit the net. And like,
Yep.
I'm not really gonna sit here and like crush Cale Makar for not being able to score goals.
Who scored if his 15th goal of the season tonight?
Yeah, like he's
If you're gonna sit here and dog the Stars, like he's not one of the ones you get to do that
I mean,
with, right?
you can dog him for that pass that gave up the game-sealing goal.
you can dog him for some of this. You dog him for some of this because he has earned it. He's such a huge part of their success that it's impossible to say that he's also not a legitimate part of the failures that they're experiencing.
Fair.
Like that's just how it is when you play a third of every single game. Like that, you own that. He has to wear that, especially the power play. The Parker Kellys of the world aren't the guys who are playing on the power play. That's Cale Makar. That's Nathan McKinnon. They're getting among the most ice time on a power play, like average power play time in the entire league, and they're doing nothing with it. Oh, it's overtime. They're doing fuck all with it.
That is my issue here as well, because Bednar's talked about this in the past as well, in sort of giving free reign to guys like Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon on the power play, where they like normally you make that change, and Bednar's just kind of like, okay, no, you come off when you feel like you need to come off. If you feel like you can contribute something positive on the man advantage, I trust you to stay out and double shift yourself. If you feel like you can do something like that's where I'm like, Cale Makar is not the only issue here.
No,
you can't.
Of course not.
For sure,
Yes,
no.
some has to be given to a guy like Cale Makar. I mean, he's quarterbacking it. He's sending those shots from the blue line. There's also something to be said about the lack of shots coming from elsewhere.
Yeah,
that are not,
Nathan McKinnon needs to
telegraphable
shoot the puck.
and-
Marty Nate just
yeah.
needs to shoot the puck. Oh my God! But
Yeah,
I just don't.
Brock Nelson stopped scoring goals, and the Power Play stopped scoring goals, and it was
Funny.
like, you can't
Yeah.
live and die with Brock Nelson. You can't live and die with him. He's great at what he does, but that not.
It is not a
How
coincidence.
this go? This drives me crazy. I hate this power play so much. I literally tonight during their second power play of the third period, I looked at my girlfriend and I said, "Well, this is a good time for me to go to the bathroom." So I did. They came back from a commercial break, and I was like, "I'll use the power play to do this." One, irresponsible of me, but two, it shouldn't be that predictable.
I just.
No.
It's so
just terrible.
frustrating that you even watch the first power play of this game, and it's decent, right? You didn't score, but you got 4 shots on goal. You're generating chances.
It's sustainable. I can. If it looks like that, like obviously you wanted to look better. First one wasn't bad.
And then they consecutively get worse. The second one in the first period sucks. The first one in the third period, not dangerous. The fourth one, they give up a shorty. Like, it's off the cliff bad. It only got worse as the night went on.
Yeah.
And again, that's what's so shocking to me is looking at statistics and where this thing lies on league wide. When you're comparing numbers to other teams in the league, you're comparing it to a Philadelphia Flyers who has a worse power play, and objectively you look at their power play today and it looked far more dangerous than the Avs did on all but one of them.
They went 1 for 2. You went -1 for 4. Uncomparable. I'm done. I have nothing else to say about the power play. Bailey, any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
You hope there's something to be gotten momentum-wise heading on the road. The Avs will not be home until February. They need to be able to do something with this road trip. I don't know if it's just getting complacent at home or what. They need a change of scenery. You hope you can get that.
Yeah. The answer is always, what have you done for me lately? If the Avs go 3 in a row on this road trip and wins, you forget about the homestand frustrations really quick. So that's part of the conversation. Bailey, we'll let you go. Thank you for calling in on the Xfinity mobile call-in line. That was Bailey Curtis. Make sure you're following all of her great content. And we are going to go home because it's late. So we appreciate all y'all hanging out with us for this one, even if it was mostly just a vent session about the frustrating Colorado Avalanche. We do have one super chat real quick to get to. $10 from MG Wolf. Despite being a terrible game, I'm glad to have been able to meet you, Rudo. I'm still wished I remembered to wear my banana pants. Yeah. Next time you come out to the bar, bring your banana pants for sure. It's good to meet you as well. It's funny. The margins are super thin. This was a 3-3 hockey game going into the third period, and there's a world where the Avs pull away and win it. It's not the way things went tonight, and it's an effort in the third period that I think everyone should be upset with the Colorado Avalanche.
I don't understand why people in the chat just keep thinking the Maple Leafs are going to smoke the Avs in 2 days.
They've been horrible since they beat the Avs, by the way.
This confuses me. I don't know. They just got rocked again tonight, didn't they?
Yep.
Didn't they lose 6-3? Like,
Yep.
I guess this I don't understand. Like this is dooming, where you're just like, well, they weren't good in the third period of this game tonight, therefore they're going to be bad. I feel pretty good about this road trip. This is the images preceding unfortunate events moment for me.
Well,
I think
I feel good about the hockey.
It's
going to be like -50 in Toronto tomorrow.
Yeah. The plane is just going to like freeze in midair. It's like, well, they're going to cancel this game. Yeah, no, honestly, I feel fine about it. Like I feel good about the road trip. I think that this team actually needs to be on the road. They need to get closer. They need to be away from the families and the distractions for a couple of games. We always hear about how road trips are good bonding for teams, and how they can kind of galvanize a group. And right now the group is coming apart a little bit. I think this is going to be healthy. I feel really good. Yeah. The Red Wings, paper tigers, bring them all on. Bring all of them on. I'm not afraid of any of these teams. I'm not afraid of anybody in the NHL.
I agree.
Pete DeBoer doesn't have a job. I'm not afraid of anybody.
I think it is worth noting that sometimes games like this feel amplified. The Toronto game the Avs lost. That's their biggest win of the season. You see their media absolutely losing their minds about beating the Colorado Avalanche. In reality,
I mean, the same has happened tonight. I mean, we saw
that's what I was getting to. Yeah.
PHL-wide, Bill Matz is shaving his head because they won a regular season game against the Avs.
When teams beat the Avs,
I guess this is the other part of it. Like they get this, they're everybody's Super Bowl right now.
Yep. When teams beat the Avs, it's their biggest win of the season. When the Avs beat a team, it's just another hockey game. So there is a little bit extra in the air at times when the Avs lose. I think that it's okay to take a breath and remember there's 82 games in a season and a long way to go yet. We're going to wrap it up. We appreciate all y'all hanging out with us for this one. Like I said, sometimes event session is as much as we need as anything. So fair enough. We are off tomorrow for Saturday, but we'll be back bright and early for the Sunday morning game against Toronto. So you'll find us there pregame, watch along, postgame. We hope to see you. This has been the DNVR Avalanche postgame show presented by Bet365.
We all silly like the mayor.